You mentioned that you play the drums not for the drums, but you like the music for the music. But anyway, when you're learning and practicing to play that instrument, you choose some people to mimic, to learn from, to see as a set goal. Like, I want to play like this guy. So, who are the people you would say are still today, like people you want to play like, you want to reach their level of musicianship?
Again, as I said, metalhead comes first.
Yeah.
So, and drumming comes second.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the metalhead part that makes me want to get on my drum set and practice and put this metronome and sit 3 4 hours and just do these exercises, or
Yeah.
while driving have my pad and with one hand just just doing the push pull technique and all that stuff.
You do it
If
while
it wasn't
driving.
while driving, I do it because man, there's a lot of traffic, so I just sit there and go tick, 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 on one hand and I'm driving with the other,
Okay.
just so that I
So you
or in the
you
office.
benefit from the traffic. The worse the
Yeah,
traffic jam, the better the exercise.
I have 50 minutes of exercise before I get to work. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Yeah, now that I see it's the bright side of traffic jams.
exactly.
I see.
So drummer wise, I would say my I have like my main influence is and has always been Dave Lombardo from Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when I do roles, when I do stuff, it's very much influenced by him.
Yeah.
And the drummer, like I would wish to reach his level, or my favorite drummer of all time is Adam Jarvis from Misery Index. Like this guy is out of this world. And it's not about just the speed
Yeah.
or it's how fast he can play. It's just the way he gives the song what it needs.
I
Now
see.
there are also others. You've got Derek, you've got George Colias, you've got Kareem Krim. You've got these guys. They are beasts. I mean, you can't Flash God Apocalypse guy. You've got Martin. Also, you've got a lot of strong like drummers. But then there is this drummer because he fits the music well.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Alan Jarvis because he fits Misery Index perfectly and he plays really good and it just sounds so musical to me.
So let's go from the drums a bit beyond it, and you might not have an answer, but I'm just gonna ask. If you
Yeah.
want to pick one guitar player that you think, not necessarily technicality, I'm not talking about the guy who can shred it. I'm talking about the guy who makes
No, I
the
don't
riff,
like
the melody, the whatever you enjoy. Who would you pick as a guitar player that is interesting to you?
now. I'm more of a like guy who likes either riffing or like melodies. So I would say Hypocrisy, Peter Tactrin.
Okay. If you go to vocalist, growl or clean, any specific
Like
vocalist, like it's like the one that you think impossible to have on one of your singles, but the one you really want?
yeah, I'd say it's Paradise Lost vocalist Nick Holmes.
Okay. uh it's
Or
just
it's hard. It's this guy. It's also Peter Tactrin. There's Ahsan also. Like this guy is crazy.
I would love to see us on one of your tracks. He fits somewhere, he fits there.
Man,
Have you
he's in
tried?
another dimension.
Have
No,
you
I don't
tried?
want to. I don't want to try. I don't
Okay,
want to
I think you should, but okay, we'll discuss it.
try.
One last thing. When it comes to lyrics, is there a band or a track or an album that like amazes you lyrics wise?
I would say first of all, Paradise Lost.
So you are a fan of
Like
that band.
yeah, man,
You've
yeah, yeah,
mentioned it
yeah.
a lot.
Like
Yeah,
yeah, Paradise Lost. But again, each band has its. You can't just name one band because each band has its own. If you want, when I was a kid, Metallica lyrics were amazing.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
when Master of Puppets, I mean, like Sanitarium and all of these, Leper Messiah. When you listen to them and you're a kid, you're like, man, that's
yeah.
amazing. Into Megadeth, Rust in Peace. You're like, this is good. Creator,
As a
like the old
drummer,
ones.
what do you think of Lars Ulrich?
Listen, Lars, we cannot deny that he's he was a very important part of the metal scene.
Okay.
Like everybody had. I had the Lars Ulrich poster in my room.
I see.
When I listened to Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. Now recently, I'm not. I'm doesn't mean much to me, but whenever I listen to the old tracks, nobody was doing what he was doing. So I can't. I'm not one of those who would diss him,
Bash
like
him.
say, "Oh, he's a bad." No, no, I wouldn't, because
Yeah.
I've loved like Metallica for as long as I can remember.
I
So it
see.
wouldn't be fake, no, at all.
I see. I see. And he still made some memorable parts, right? Like the track one, the double parts and all that. Is its own signature
Yeah,
kind of way thing. Um.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to hear a drummer's opinion on that, because you mentioned Metallica specifically. So I guess I got the answer more or less: guitar, lyrics, drums, vocals. Um, let's go through a band. What about bass? Because usually a lot of not all, a lot of metalheads would not care much about the bass lines, the bassist behind the bass lines. Do you have an opinion on that?
Bass. Now, thinking about bass, the first name that pops in my head is obviously Steve Harris. It's
Mm-hmm.
because being a main man in Iron Maiden, you could always hear his bass.
Yeah.
So and also if when we used to headbang,
Mm-hmm.
one thing a lot of people us would do this, like
Yeah.
like, so it's not only this, like you go like as if you're playing a bass, you'd mimic the bass.
Yeah.
And
The plucking.
and I'd say, yeah, I mean I love his sound. But if I told you like, okay, I listen to Animal as Leaders or Gojira or the others, yeah, it's, I mean, I've never given it a lot of attention. But you've got bands who have very good bass sounds. Listen to Overkill, for example.
Yeah.
Overkill have a killer bass sound.
Yeah.
Killer bass sound. You would know this is Overkill from the bass. So. But I would say for me it would be like Steve Harris. Now you've got the fusion guys like Victor Wooten and all these, but they're really good. But it's not my style of music. I wouldn't
I
listen
see.
to.
Yeah, but in metal in generally, there are few bassists that shine, that appear as, oh, that bassist. You usually go, oh, this guitar player is the guy who shreds and whatever. Oh, the
Yeah,
vocalist is that, he's whatever, is the loud vocalist. He's great. He's amazing. He goes up in the notes, low in the notes. I just wanted to just kind of shine a light a bit on the bassist. Yeah. So as a joke question here, who's the best triangle player in the band, in the metal bands? Not many bands at the triangle
that's
so
all
far.
good.
Yeah, I guess Carl would do it soon. Carl had the chicken. We hope we are counting on you to have the triangle, Carl.
Man, it's a. By the way, those who haven't listened to Carl's band have to listen to Carl's band.
Mansfeld.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
Mansfeld. Man, I've listened to it when Jam was mixing it, and I was listening, and I was like, man, this is new. Like it's original, it's good. I like it, and now we also see, I feel like that and like joke on either on Twitch. So this is very cool, and yeah, I mean, you guys have to check this.
Totally. And the artwork actually is again interesting. There's a lot of chickens in the artwork. They're trying to lay an egg.
Yeah,
And the inside artwork is interesting. There's also a poster that comes with it. I like the music, so I quickly bought it, and I've been listening to it like almost on daily basis. It's a very fun album, diverse and
it's
and
very
uh,
like this.
yeah, recommended. I hope to hear more, and I hope to see them live. So I was hoping to see the band live. I guess they
Oh,
had to postpone.
Gino
Uh,
said Cliff Burton, by the way. I need to, yeah, Gino mentioned Cliff Burton. I
yeah,
don't know how I forgot him.
no, we
So
should we
that's
should mention that. That's a good mention. Also,
that's,
Cliff Burton as
that's a
as
big mistake.
well. If you start to remember like the people, or
Yeah,
give it time and think about it, there is a list of bases that made a difference. Like Steve Harris made a big difference in the music and what it is, and yeah, Cliff Burton for sure. And there's a lot more. Um, I think I am already doing a Twitch stream where we're focusing on a special musician So we're making a Twitch stream next Sunday, listening to metal tracks that are great because of the drummer. And on another Sunday, we're gonna go to a Twitch stream. We're gonna listen to metal tracks where what makes the metal tracks, what makes them great, is the bassist. So we're gonna start like, kind of filtering a bit the metal tracks that are great because of one musician in the band. Of course, the rest of the band could be amazing, but that bass line in that track made it what it is, for example. So yeah, there's a lot to talk more. I wouldn't stretch this too far now. I'll get to my final question before we close. And this is one I'm, let's say, sticking to for now, the closing question. And I asked this in the last talk with Adnan from Unmuted. And the question is, if there is an apocalypse, the world is burning, the world burns, okay? And you're very lucky. There's an escape pod. If you get on it, it's gonna take you to the moon. You'll survive, okay? The whole planet Earth will burn. You're going on a trip to the moon on your escape pod. And you
Hello?
have alone. Other people are on their own escape pods. And you have a CD with you. You have a CD and a CD player. It's your entertainment on the pod for the next 2 weeks. Which
Okay.
album will you take with you when the world burns? Pick
One
an album.
album?
One album for 2 weeks to listen to nonstop.
I'd go for now. I can't one, man. I'd stick another one like somewhere.
You'd
No,
cheat, huh? You'd cheat.
yeah, like, it'll either be a Slayer album or it'll be Draconian Times. Paradise
Draconian
Lost.
times. Okay, so
It's either,
back to Paradise Lost.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm a freak. So,
Yeah, but that means that it is one of your top favorite bands,
yeah.
and this is one of your top favorite albums, and you wouldn't get bored of it for like 2 weeks listening.
No, man. I listen to it so much. I think the band has listened to it as much as I have.
Okay.